I didn't feel like I could tell one of my Marines to run across the clearing between where we were and where those bunkers were. So I gathered up some grenades and did it myself. As a kid, 10, 12 years old, I decided I wanted to go to the Naval Academy. My wild guess is I watched an Army-Navy football game on television.
I consider having the opportunity to go to Naval Academy as one of the biggest honors you could possibly have. That's the best thing you can do if you want to lead men in battle.
I enjoyed the Academy, enjoyed the Navy, and stuck with it. So my first deployment to Vietnam, early 1970.
It was 1969. March 1st was my 30th day in country. I was assigned to 4th Marines, 1st Battalion, and we got to Don Ha Quang Tri, got introduced to my company commander and executive officer, walked down, met my platoon, and about 3 weeks later, we were in a firefight.
And we supported Sea Float, Navy Command Post, anchored in the middle of the Bodie River. So we'd go up and down the river to support Sea Float. A couple of weeks before, we had come under another attack, not nearly as devastating, but it did puncture the hull several places, created a major fire in the engine room, knocked one of my engines off its foundation. We thought we had pretty well figured out the tactics of the Viet Cong and felt pretty comfortable going up and down the river, but on this particular day, they exhibited new tactics where we were fired on from the starboard bow in the port quarter. So we were in a crossfire. We had just got repaired, just got everything back in shape. And so I guess my immediate anger was the SOBs doing it to me again. We had lost propulsion in that first attack, and so the anger drove me that we not lose power again, particularly in a crossfire. One of the first shots from the beach was a B-40 that severed a voice tube that I was standing next to. So I was immediately blown to the deck. Never lost consciousness. I crawled over to the now severed voice tube to talk to the bridge to tell them, continue on, get out of the ambush site. So we cleared the ambush site, but we were still getting fire from astern. The gunner's mate was the first to reach me. There had been an M15 hanging on the guardrail next to me. It had been shattered. He gave me morphine. He used the shattered rifle stock as a splint, but I could not stand. But I just could not lie there and not know what was going on and not have any say in the action. So I just asked them to put me in that stretcher and prop it up so I could continue with my job.
At that point, we had been pinned down in a firefight for 2.5, maybe 3 hours. I had numerous wounded. The weather had finally lifted so we could get air support in. The medevac helicopter would not land unless I could assure him that we had cleared some bunkers that were on the edge of the landing zone. I was the brand new guy. I was the new lieutenant. Barely knew who my squad leaders were, let alone knowing my troopers' names. I didn't feel like I could tell one of my Marines to run across the clearing between where we were and where those bunkers were and throw a grenade in the apertures. So I gathered up some grenades and did it myself. I went out, I did it, got back, and from that time on, I was accepted. That's instilled in a Marine Corps officer almost from the day you take your first oath. Taking care of your Marines, your mission comes first, but you do your mission while you do your best to take care of your troops.
You react, you don't think about stuff. And after you've been in combat a while, it becomes kind of instinctive. You know, you sort of go into automatic. The Naval Academy, it's a tremendous help. I looked at it as 4 years of preparation to lead men in battle. I don't look on it as a sacrifice. I picked it. I chose it.
When I went to the Naval Academy, self-reliance, self-confidence, believing in your spirit and your capabilities, probably what most prepared me for a career in the Navy. I'm very upbeat about today's academy, today's military, and